Hi, I'm Pastor Sami, and I'm so glad you've decided to join me again for another special message about this week's Gospel reading. This week, we have another reading from Mark's Gospel. We're done with John and all those bread readings for a while, and we're in Mark's Gospel. Chapter 7, I'm going to start in verse 14. Then Jesus called the crowd again and said to them, "Listen to me, all of you, and understand. There is nothing outside a person that by going in can defile, but the things that come out are what defile." So Jesus is talking to the Pharisees who had all of these rules and these laws that they thought they had to follow and that they taught that everybody needed to follow. He told them what kind of food they could eat, they could spend their time with, what kind of clothes they could wear, how they had to spend their money, all this stuff. The words they had to say when they pray, how often they have to pray, all of these rules, so many rules. And they took them all from the Bible, which is not a bad thing, but what Jesus was trying to get them to do is get out of their heads and stop spending their whole lives trying to follow all of these rules and instead to focus on what God requires of them, to love God and love their neighbor. That's what Jesus is calling them to. That's what Jesus is calling us to. It doesn't matter what we look like from the outside. It doesn't matter if anybody else understands what we're about, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about us. It doesn't matter if people think that we look cool, or if we have the right kind of car, the right kind of house, or the right kind of clothes, or if we say the right thing, or if we make mistakes. None of that matters. What matters is our relationship with God. God looks at our heart, and God knows that we belong to God. That is what Jesus has done for us. And the way that we get to respond to that is to live our lives without any care about what anybody else thinks about us, because we know that we are good with God. And so we are free to serve others and just to try to do what's right, to always try to do the next right thing, even if it's hard, even if we might risk making a mistake. Then we learn and we do better and we try again. This is the life. This is the freedom that Jesus calls us to. We don't have to check off all these boxes to be good with God. We just need to live our lives with love toward God and love toward our neighbor. Those are the only rules that matter. That's what Jesus is teaching us in this reading. I hope that you will hear that you will feel free to go out into the world and to live into those laws of love. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.